Hello, can all of you hear me? So, Nobal, Prabha, Kelvin, can all three of you hear me? So, Prabha can hear me. What about Kelvin and Sanobar? Kelvin, can you hear me? Sanobar, can you hear me? Okay, Kelvin can hear me. Sanobar, what about you? Can you hear me? Sanobar, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Sanobar? What happened to her? Okay, great. Okay, so let's start with the class today. 1 second. I'm back. You are more or less like a doctor. Okay, let's start the class. Okay, coming back to the class. So the topic that we will be discussing today is about business plan, right? How to create a business plan and how to implement a business plan and what a business plan exactly is, right? So we will first see the elements of a business plan, and then we will see one sample of a business plan, right? One sample of a business plan for a coffee shop, right? So this is the sample which I will be discussing it with all of you at the end of the class. Fine. First of all, let's go through the components of a business plan. Does any one of you have any idea of where do we use the business plan, or how it looks like, or for what purpose it is used? Any idea? Okay. Business plan or layout about your idea. About my idea. Idea of what? Like capital, manpower, office space. Okay. Kelvin, what about you? Any idea? Sanobar, any idea? Okay, let's see. Let's see. Okay. Why do we develop a business plan? All the work you do in thinking up your idea, testing it, studying it, and producing it has been for nothing if you can't sell it, right? All the thinking that goes in ideas, testing, studying, right? Whether you start your own business to produce and sell your invention, or subcontract out the manufacturing part, or sell your rights in return for a percentage of the proceedings, you need to have a business plan, right? This is the definition which was given by Pamela Riddle-Bird, who was a PhD degree, right? You have just come up with an idea, like suppose you have just come up with an idea, what to do next. There is no exact order of what you should be doing, right? But we like to suggest two broad areas for investors to embark on. First, learn all you can about running a business, even if you hope a license your idea. Second, writing a business plan for it, right? Even if you hope to license your ideas, and that's actually a rarity among the successful inventors we have met, you still need to have a plan, right? So it is we can say that if some idea has stuck our mind, right? Then it will be good to lay out the whole plan for implementing that idea on a piece of paper, right? So it will give a broader view of implementing our idea which is there in our mind. Yeah. Okay. A business plan is vital for enterprises needing investment, grant funding, or significant borrowing, more so for innovation ventures, as the greater number of unknowns makes it even harder to attract backing. But don't make the mistake of thinking that only other people need your business plan. It's primarily a tool to reveal possibilities, awkward truths about your business to you. This is the definition which was given by a firm creative investor. Now, generally there are three types of business plans. One is the summary plan, which is round of around 10 pages with having three important points. Then we have a comprehensive plan as well, which is about 10 to which exists, which lies between 10 to 40 pages, right? And it seeks a capital or alliances. And the last plan is an operational plan, which is in brief having 40 plus pages for concerns part of an annual process. Let's take a look at a summary plan. One second. Okay, before that, let's take a look at another slide. Can all of you see? See the next slide. So a business plan is a written narrative, typically 25 to 35 pages long, that describes what a business plan we have to accomplish, right? It is a dual use document, right? It means that we can use it for dual purpose. Dual means two or more than two purposes. Okay, KP Ramakrishnan has joined. KP Ramakrishnan, can you hear me? Okay. So we have just started with the class, right? We were just going through the basic definition of a business plan, of what it is and how it looks like, right? And the elements that are there in the business plan. Clear? Okay. So a business plan is a written narrative, typically 25 to 35 pages long, that describes what a new business plan we need to accomplish. Right, it is a dual use document. For most new ventures, the business plan is a dual purpose document used both inside and outside the firm. Right, so we can use it both for the purpose of our business, or inside the firm and outside the firm as well. Clear? Inside the firm, I mean that inside the firm, the plan it helps the company to develop a roadmap to follow in executing its strategies and plans. And for outside the firm, it introduces the potential investors and other stakeholders to the business opportunity the firm is pursuing and how it plans to pursue it. Let's move to the next slide. Who reads the business plan and what are they looking for? Now let's talk about the target audience for our business plan. Right now, one type of audience is the employees who are working in your own company. Right now, what they are looking for: a clearly written business plan which articulates the vision and future plans of the firm, helps the employees of a firm to operate in synchronize and move forward in a consistent and purposeful manner. And other audience can be your investors and other external stakeholders, right? And now what they are expecting from that business plan: a firm's business plan must make the cause that the firm is a good use of an investor's fund or the attention of other external stakeholders, right? For external stakeholders or investors, that document should have the vision the firm has, right, in detail, as well as after reading the document from the external stakeholders or the investors point of view, right. They need to get an impression that that if they invest their money in this firm, right, it will be a good bet, right. It will be a good bet to invest the money in this company because the company has great perspective in future. Clear? So these are the two audience forms for which for whom we make the business plan. Clear, Ramakrishnan, Kelvin, Prabhas, Anobar? Okay. Let's proceed. Now let's see the guidelines for writing a business plan, or we can write. So in this, the first part is the structure of the business plan. What all things that needs to be mentioned in the business plan. Let's see. To make the best impression, a business plan should follow a conventional structure such as the outline for the business plan as shown in the chapter. Right. So we will go through the outlines and all the points that needs to be there in the that need to be put in the business plan. Although some entrepreneurs want to demonstrate creativity in everything they do, departing from the basic structure of the conventional business plan format is usually a mistake. Typically, investors are very busy people and want a plan where they can easily find critical information, right? Now see, there are two types of writings, two ways of writing a thing. One way is in which people write the things in descriptive. They write small everything of that piece of information. Other types of people are those who write in short, in brief, right, and they summarize the whole scenario so beautifully in very less words, right? Because see, the people, the higher level management or the managers or the investors who will be reading your business plan, they are very busy people. They don't have enough time to read the whole documents, right? So it's recommended to write in brief, right? So that not much time is wasted in reading your plan, right? But whatever you write in brief, in short, should be very effective in that the person who is reading should get the full impression of what exactly you are trying to convey, what message you are exactly trying to give. It should look good, sounds good, and safe for money investment. Yes, right. Software packages. There are many software packages available that employ an interactive menu-driven approach to assist in writing of a business plan. Now, there are two ways in which you can write a business plan. One is the manual way, in which you have to write all the headings of the subheadings, right, and the contents of the subheadings. Other ways is you can take the help of a software, right, where where the whole template will be already created, and you just have to fill the information in it. Some of the programs are very helpful. However, entrepreneurs should avoid a boilerplate plan that looks as though it came from a canned source, right? So entrepreneurs generally skip the ready-made formats, right? They believe in writing the stuffs on their own, right? So that it looks more natural and more brief, right, and more real, right? So that it has all the feelings and essence of the organization, and the whole idea is being translated in the form of words. Sense of excitement. Along with facts and figures, a business plan needs to project a sense of anticipation and excitement about the possibilities that surround the new venture. Right now, apart from what is going in the organization, right, there should also be a message in that business plan, right, where the organization can also look for an opportunity with the stakeholders, or the end users who will be reading your business plan, right? So that in that context, they have written sense of excitement over here. Yeah. Okay, let's move to the next slide. Content of the business plan. What all contents that needs to be put in the business plan? The business plan should give clear and concise information on all the important aspects of the proposed venture. It must be long enough to provide sufficient information, yet short enough to maintain reader interest. For most plans, 25 to 35 pages is sufficient, right? So it is recommended to finish your business plan between 25 to 35 pages. Now, types of business plan. We already discussed there are 3 types of business plans. They are let us see. Okay, Asiya has joined us. Asiya, good evening. Can you hear me? Okay, let's move to the next slide. I already told you there are 3 types of business plan. One is a summary business plan. Second one is the full business plan, and the third one is the operational business plan. Summary business plan is of 10 to 15 pages. Full business plan is of 25 to 35 pages, which is recommended, and operational business plan is of between 40 to 100 pages. Right. What is a summary business plan? It works best for new venture in the early stages of development that want to test the waters to see if investors are interested in their idea. Right. What is full business plan? It works best for new ventures who are at the point where they need funding or financing services as a blueprint for the company's operations. Right. And operational business plan is meant primarily for an internal audience. Internal audience means the employees of the organization. They work best as a tool for creating a blueprint for a new venture, operations, and providing guidance to operational managers. Let's see how the outline of a business plan looks like. Outline, a suggested outline of a business plan is shown on the next several slides. Most business plans do not include all the elements introduced in the sample plan. We include them here for the purpose of completeness. Each entrepreneur must decide which elements to include in his or her plan, right? So the final say of including, whether to include all the points or only few points are required, right, based on the audience, is decided by the person who is writing the business plan. So on the very first page, we need to have the cover page and table of contents, right? So the cover page should include the name of the company, its address, its phone number, its date, and contact information for the lead entrepreneur. Then comes the executive summary, right? Now, what is the executive summary? It is a short overview of the entire business plan, right? So that after reading the executive summary, even a layman can understand the background of this plan, what this plan is all about, or what message this business plan is trying to give. The executive summary is a short overview of the entire business plan. It provides a busy reader with everything that needs to be known about the new venture's distinctive nature. In many instances, an investor will first ask for a copy of the executive summary and will request a copy of the full business plan only if the executive summary is sufficiently convincing. Right now, there are many investors or stakeholders who are initially not interested in reading your full business plan which you have made. Right? They only want to go through the executive summary first. Right? But now, if they like your executive summary, then they will ask for the full business plan. Otherwise, yes, it is a brochure, we can say, Prava, right? So executive summary has to be very effective, right? Very informative, right? Because 60% of the things depends on this executive summary. Okay. Then comes not catalog. Catalog is used where you are trying to show the samples of your services or of your products. That is called what is called a catalog. You cannot define your business in a catalog. What exactly you are doing, the process behind it, the thinking behind it, the vision behind it, the mission behind it. Getting my point, bro? Then comes the business. What kind of business you are doing, right? The most effective way to introduce the business is to describe the opportunity the entrepreneur has identified, that is, the problem to solve or the need to be filled, and then describe how the business plans to address the issue. The description of the opportunity should be followed by a brief history of the company, right? You also need to mention the history of your company, how the company was set up, who are the owners of the company, right? Along with the company's mission statement and objectives. An explanation of the company's competitive advantage and brief description of the business model needs to be followed. Right? What business model your organization is following. Yeah. Any questions so far? Any doubts so far? Long term. Business plans made for a long term purpose. until major changes are made in the organization. Till the time the process which is mentioned in your business plan is same as it is being followed in your organization. If major changes are made in your operations or in your business, then you need to make a new business plan. Okay. Right, then you need to mention about the management team. Who is your company's CEO, COO, CTO, MDs, right? As mentioned earlier, one of the most important things the investors want to see when reviewing the viability of the new ventures is the CTO, means Chief Technology Officer. Chief Technology Officer. And CFO is who? Chief Financial Officer. Yes, Chief Financial Officer. And then MD, Managing Director. Then the chairmans. Right. So a brief discussion about them also needs to be mentioned. See, if you visit any company's website, you will always find all these information in About Us. You click on About Us for any good organization, you will always find all these information. Who is their CFO, who is their MD, right? Because see, as we used to say, first impression is the last impression, right? So it will be good for your organization, the better impression you can give to your stakeholders or the companies who are interested in venturing with you, right? That's why we say the first impression is the last impression, right? So you need to put all your good things on the table of your organization, right? As mentioned earlier, one of the most important things investors want to see when reviewing the viability of a venture is the strength of its management team. That when are you taking the account classes? I think I have scheduled 2 or 3 accounting classes, 2 accounting classes each week. 1 second, let me check. See, on 5th of April you have financial management class with me. Then on 8th April we have accounting class. Then on 14th we have again financial management. Then on 16th we have accounting and financial management, like that. So I try to keep one finance class each week and one accounting class each week. Okay, like that. Clear everyone? Should I proceed? Okay. If the team does not pass muster, most investors won't read further, right? So if the investors don't find your team appealing and their background appealing, they won't show any further interest in knowing about your organization or firm. The material in this section should include a brief summary of the qualifications of each member of the management team, including his or her relevant employment and professional experience, significant accomplishments, and educational background. So these things needs to be mentioned. Yeah. Okay. Then next page is we have to mention the company structure, the ownership and intellectual property. This section should begin by describing the structure of the new venture, including the reporting relationships among the top management team members. The next part of the section should explain how the firm is legally structured. Right. So we also need to mention about the structuring of your firm, right, or the hierarchy, that in more technical term. The next part of the section should explain how the firm is legally structured. The third part of this section should discuss the intellectual property the firm owns, including the patents, the trademarks, and the copyrights. What all copyrights does the organization have, or what all patents they have, what all achievements they have, right? Next thing is industry analysis. This section should begin by discussing the major trends in the industry in which the firm intends to compete, along with important characteristics of the industry, such as its size, attractiveness, and profit potential. This section should also discuss how the firm will diminish or sidestep the forces that suppresses its industry's profitability. The firm's targets should be discussed next, along with an analysis of how it will compete in that market. So all these points needs to be put in the industry analysis section. Yeah. What is that? Side step diminish. Side step, or this point provides side step or diminish the suppress its industry profitability. Right. Forces means the forces which the forces which are trying to destroy the organization. Right. We need to beat or win over those forces. Right. In that context, they are saying. Okay. So just excuse me for a second. Let me take a glass of water and then we will continue. Okay. So just. Okay. I'm back. Can you hear me? Okay. Let's move to the next slide. Next thing is the marketing plan. How does the company market their services or products? Right. This marketing plan should immediately follow the industry's analysis and should provide details about the new firm's products or services. After reading this section of the plan, an investor should be confident that the firm's overall approach to its target market and its product strategy or the pricing strategy and the channels of distribution and promotional strategy are in synchronization with one another and makes sense. Then we also need to discuss about the operation plan. How does the company operates? This section of the plan deals with the day-to-day operations of the company. An overview of the manufacturing plan or service delivery plan should be followed by a description of the network of suppliers, business partners, and service providers that will be necessary to build the product or produce the service the firm will sell. Any risks or regulations pertaining to the operations of the firm should be disclosed, such as non-routine regulations regarding waste disposal and worker safety. Financial plan. The financial section of the plan must demonstrate the financial viability of the business. A careful reader of the plan will scrutinize this section, right? So this is one of the most important sections, right? The financial plan should begin with an explanation of the funding that will be needed by the business during the next 3 to 5 years, along with an explanation of how the funds will be used. Right, so we need to explain to the investor from where the company will get the funds for the next 3 to 5 years, right? And how will the company be spending those funds? This information is called a sources and uses of funds statement. The next portion of this section includes financial projections, which are intended to further demonstrate the financial viability of the business. Okay, clear? Kelvin, have you followed it? Okay. Ramakrishnan, what about you? Have you followed it? Okay. Right. Next is the risk factor. Critical risk factors, we can say. Although a variety of potential critical risks may exist, a business should tailor this section to depict its truly critical risks. Right? What all risks are there in the company's business? That also needs to be explained to the investor. And what are the steps the organization is taking or will take if any such risk appears. Appendix. Any material that does not easily fit into the body of a business plan should appear in an appendix. Examples of materials that might appear in the appendix include resumes of the top management team members, the photos or the diagrams of product or product prototypes, certain financial data, and market research projections. The 10 most important questions of a business plan should answer. Right now, an investor needs the answer of all these questions from the business plan. Is the business just an idea or it is an opportunity with real potential? Does the firm have an exciting and sensible business model? Will other firms be able to easily copy it or not? Is the product or service viable? Does it add significant value to the customer? Was the feasibility analysis completed? Is the industry in which the product or services will be competing growing, stable or declining? Does the firm have a well-defined target market or not? Is the management team experienced enough, skilled enough, and up to the task of launching the new firm? Is the firm organized in an appropriate manner? Are its strategies and business practices legal and ethical? Are the financial projections realistic? And do they project a bright future for the firm? What rate of return can investors expect? How will the firm's competitors react to its entrance into their markets? What are the critical risks surrounding the business? And does the management team have contingency and plans in place if the risk becomes actual problem? Yeah, so while making a new business plan, right, we all need to keep these 10 points in mind and make sure that the business plan answers all these 10 points. Making a presentation to investors. Now, if the business plan successfully elicits the interest of the potential investors, now, right, it means that if your investors really like the business plan which you have made, the next step is to meet with the investor and present the plan in person. Right, the next step will be to meet them and show them the PPTs. Right, so the first meeting with an investor is generally very short, about an hour. Then investor will typically ask the firm to make a 20 to 30-minute presentation using the PowerPoint slides and use the rest of the time to respond to the questions. If the investor is impressed and wants to learn more about the venture, the firm will be asked back for a second meeting. Right? Now, tips on making an oral presentation to investors. Right? While explaining the PPTs to the investors, a good oral communication is required. When asked to meet with an investor, the founders of a new venture should prepare a set of PowerPoint slides that will fill the time slot permitted. The presentation should be smooth and well rehearsed. The slides should be sharp and not cluttered with material. The first rule in making an oral presentation is to follow instructions. If an investor tells an entrepreneur that he or she has 1 hour and that the hour will consist of 30-minute presentation and 30 minutes question and answer period, the presentation should not last for more than 30 minutes, right? So generally your investor will only give you 1 hour. In that they will give you 30 minutes for presenting your PPT, and in the next 30 minutes they want to have a discussion, right? So you should prepare yourself in that manner for such a situation. 10 PowerPoint slides to include in an investor presentation. The title slide, the problem, solution, business model, management team, industry and target market, competition, intellectual property, current status, amount of money requested, and projected use of funds. So these are the 10 most important points which everyone should use in the PPT. So this is how the body of a good business plan should be. Clear? Any doubt so far anyone has? Okay, now let's see one sample. Coffee shop business plan, coffee spot cafe. Can all of you see the PPT? Okay, now let's see the PPT. This is the executive summary of this coffee shop. My mission is to will provide a friendly, comfortable atmosphere where the customers can receive quality food, drinks, and services at a reasonable price. My cafe will offer a variety of choices to the customers like cappuccinos, lattes, espressos, smoothies, regular coffee, soft drinks, and tea of all sorts will be available. The cafe will also serve daily style breakfast sandwiches with the freshest ingredients, muffins, croissants, cinnamon rolls, coffee cake, and other tasty treats. Coffee Spot Cafe will be open from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sunday to Saturday. Right, so this is the executive summary they have given. This is the SWOT analysis. Their strengths are reasonable prices, wide variety of coffee and drinks, a lot of homemade treats. Weakness, turned down in the economy, startup cost, new business, no reputation. Opportunities, job opportunities for the many unemployed or catering. Threats, CCDs, barista, Starbucks, McDonald's, and other local cafes. This is the market analysis. Their market analysis. Target market is my target market will be anyone who enjoys coffee, but I will mainly target people between the age of 15 and older, both male and female, and who are on the working class and students. Competition, my competition would be CCDs, barista, Starbucks, McDonald's, and other local cafes, but major is CCD and college cafes and restaurants in nearby areas. In the market trends, coffee is the drink of choice for many people across the world. Every morning, millions of people rely on their morning fix to get going for the day. In India, recently the trend is increasing and more urban and semi-urban population is switching to coffee over tea. Growth rate is of the market, right? So this is the market analysis sample. Sambit, good evening. How are you? Joined late. I'm fine, thank you. Today we are discussing about a business plan, Sambit. Okay, so we have just completed the structuring of the business plan, right? And we are just going through the sample slides. Clear? Okay, no issues. You can see me on your on the right top corner. Can you see me? Okay. Right, so this is about the market trends. Clear? Everyone else clear? Prabha, Kelvin, Asia, Ramakrishnan, okay. Then this is the marketing strategy. I will do as much as I can to get my business name known throughout the locality. I plan to make flyers to put on cards that have my business name, logo, and address on them. It will also list the day of opening and will state that if you bring the flyer into the first week of opening, you can get 20% off on any drink of any size. I will also have 2 coupons in the local newspaper for 35% off on any purchase over rupees 100 to create buzz. I will have reasonable prices, but they will not be too high or too low. This is their marketing strategy, right? How they will market themselves. This is the logo and tagline. Coffee Spot Cafe. Tagline is "Love at First Sip." Like we have love at first sight. Similarly, they have made love at first sip. Good one. Cool one, yes. So these are their products. Espresso coffee drinks. They have Americano, Brewy, Cappuccino, Latte, Mocha, right? And then other drinks they have these things. Then in coffees they have these things. You can try them if it's available in Dubai or UAE. Then in bakery they have these. Smoothies they have these. Ice drinks they have these. Coffee, jumping java, ice, fruit, blended ice or coffee drinks, etc. This is the startup cost. For first month rent of the place where they are opening their shop is 10,000 rupees. Modernized fee is 1 lakh rupees, right? Which includes painting, music, right, and other infrastructure. Furniture fees is furniture cost is 60,000, which includes sofa, bar, counter, tables, chairs. Equipment fee is rupees 1,80,000, which includes air conditioner, stereo, cash register, water treatment, etc. and other utensils, and advertising fees 5,000. So this is just to give you the idea of how to mention the cost. So the total cost comes up around 4 lakh rupees. 4 lakh rupees is 1,000, 8, 7, around $7,000, right? For starting up the cost. This is the operating cost, which includes rent. Rent is 1,20,000 for each year. Salary is 37,700 per month. Supply cost is 20,000, which includes coffee, snacks, cups, napkins. 8,000 for utensils, which includes the fuel, water, and electricity charges. These are other operating costs like advertising, insurance. Physical training needs to be given. Look, how to smile, manners, good postures for a long time, to all the employees who will be directly interacting with the customers. Balance, talking skill, operation of the coffee machine, how to operate the coffee machine, etc. Skill training, right? Familiar with our product. Coffee culture, proper reaction, inner decoration, never judge a person by his appearance, cooperation and leadership. Then this is the hierarchy. We have the manager, then below them comes the accountant and human resource. Training comes under human resource. Waiter comes under accountant. Cashier and coffee maker comes under human resource. In 1 hour. Employee pay. This is the pay structure. Price and revenue. Government taxes. Monthly profit. Funds borrowed. Pay for the plan. Supporting the company. That is it. This is one example, right? So you can make a business plan as per your requirement or as per your target audience, right? You can include other stuff as well, right? But make sure it should vary between 35 to 45 pages. Clear, everyone? Any doubts so far anyone has? Prabha, Sambit, Ramakrishnan, Asya, Kelvin. Right, so we can wind up the class. Right, see you tomorrow. Right, bye bye, take care all of you. Good night.